What's up? I'm Christiane Cordero, and this is the 734 from WCCO. We know most of you are on your way to work, maybe about to head out the door, so let's get you started with today's weather. Little chilly out there yet again. Later this afternoon for your evening commute, you'll see 30s. If you're going trick-or-treating tonight with the kids, with the neighbors, then you're going to want to bundle up because it's going to be about 33 degrees at 6 p.m. Mostly sunny. Good news there. Sun sets at 6:03, so enjoy those 3 minutes from 6 to 6:03 p.m. All right, now let's talk about this. For most kids, Halloween is all about the candy. Most adults too, right? CandyStore.com is out with the best and worst Halloween candy to hand out. Candy corn topped the list of the worst candy to hand out. Yesterday, half of you told us that you actually liked candy corn, so that surprised me. That was followed by Circus Peanuts and Peanut Butter Kisses. The best candy to hand out was Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, Snickers, and Twix. You'll also probably score points for handing out the full-size candy bars. So we want to know, what is your favorite and least favorite Halloween candy, whether you're stealing it from your kids, whether you're asking for some from your coworkers, you're shopping for those next day sales. What do you think? Those watching on Facebook, leave a comment right here. We'll get through a few of those in a moment. In the news this morning, a judge could decide how long a Twin Cities plant has to stay closed. The state shut down water Gremlin in White Bear Township this week, saying it put kids in danger. The decision came 1 week after our WCCO investigation uncovered workers unknowingly brought home lead on their clothes, and at least a dozen of their children had elevated toxins in their blood. Water Gremlin says it's cooperating with state and county leaders to get its 300+ employees back to work. It's a tough morning for hundreds of Minnesotans. They're getting up and ready to clock in for the last time. The Electrolux plant in St. Cloud will shut down tomorrow. The closure of the freezer assembly plant isn't a surprise. The company announced it nearly 2 years ago. Workers will leave with severance benefits, and many will also get a union pension. Gusting winds continue to spread wildfires in California. There are more than 20 wildfires raging across the state right now. The Easy Fire came within 100 feet of the Reagan Presidential Library in Simi Valley. The complex was evacuated along with 7,000 homes in that area. It's a big suburb just outside of Los Angeles. Those winds have been picking up, and bone-dry conditions mean the fire threat is far from over in the state. Congress is scheduled to hold its first impeachment-related vote later today. The U.S. House will vote on its impeachment resolution to establish the ground rules for the inquiry into President Trump's dealings with Ukraine. It's expected to pass with overwhelming Democratic support. No surprise there. Also happening today, President Trump's top Russia advisor, Tim Morrison, will testify 1 day after saying he's leaving his post. Both the Wild and the Timberwolves lost last night. For the Wolves, it's their first loss of the season, but that's honestly not what people are really talking about today. This is, a fight between Karl Anthony Towns and Philadelphia's Joel Embiid. They have a bit of a history of talking trash, but last night they took it way beyond pushing and shoving. Towns ended up in a headlock on the floor. And gotta love how photos freeze one moment in time, right? Wolves fans were all about this post with Towns touching Embiid with one finger, that dramatic response. That doesn't tell the full story, but it is fun. Both players, though, were ejected. The two continued going at it on Twitter overnight. Our nation's capital is united at last. The Nationals, they're World Series champions. They beat the Houston Astros in Game 7 by a score of 6-2. It's the Nationals' first World Series title in franchise history. Every game in this series was won by the visiting team. It is the first time that has happened in a playoff series in any major sport. Away field advantage, I guess. Somewhat related to Washington, Twitter announced it will no longer allow political ads. Founder and CEO Jack Dorsey says the company made the decision because they believe the reach of a political message shouldn't be bought, but earned by users following accounts to receive those messages. The ban begins in 3 weeks. Ads encouraging people to register to vote, however, those will be allowed. Heads up, if you're a responsible iPhone and iPad user and you're still holding on to that super old model, well, Apple has a warning for you. The company says iPhones and iPads made in 2012 or earlier need to be updated to the latest iOS software by Sunday. And if they're not, the devices will no longer connect to the internet. Apple says it's because GPS devices will reset themselves. That happens every 20 years or so. Here's an excuse to be lazy. Experts say it might be time to put away the rake.
It's a cultural thing. We love a pristine green lawn, but that ecologically is not necessarily the best thing.
All right, so what are we talking about here? Experts with the University of Minnesota recommend mulching leaves with a lawnmower about 20% remaining with about 20% remaining on your yard. They say that could cut down on weeds, especially dandelions. You should, however, keep leaves away from drains on the street because they can contaminate the water supply. The governor's mansion is all ready for Halloween. Kids are invited to come trick-or-treat at the house on Summit Ave from 5 to 7 p.m. Local candy companies are donating all kinds of goodies. Will they have full-size candy bars? Tough to say. I guess you're just going to have to go and show up. Okay, we have totally gotten a kick out of all of your Halloween costumes this week, and we especially love this from Centric Hair. They sent us pictures of its tiniest hospitals, tiniest patient sizes, I should say, at St. Cloud Hospital. Each baby in the NICU receives a costume made by volunteers with the March of Dime. What we're looking at right here is Eva. She's a ladybug. Harper, she's a strawberry. Look at that adorable headband. And then Piper was dressed up as a mermaid. And that blue hair, that's fantastic. Sloan is Superman, Superwoman, not really sure, but a superhero nonetheless. Families get to keep the costumes as a memento of how little they started and how much they will grow. That will be a really cool thing to look back on. Let's get back to today's talker. We're going to bring in WCCO's digital guy, Cole, the man, the myth, the legend.
Oh, yeah.
Cole, what is our trick and treat?
Yeah, we have Adam saying favorite candy is jelly beans. And,
that's a unique one.
Actually, jelly bellies.
Jelly bellies.
And least favorite is black licorice.
Okay, yeah. People discount black licorice. I don't even know anybody that actually hands that out for Halloween,
Yeah.
But anyways, okay.
Does anybody actually like that? Maybe some people.
I know
And we
one
have
person.
Leon saying, I pass out almond joys, but keep mounds for myself. We have Paul saying peanut butter cups win out every time. And Becca saying Kit Kat, always happy to have those at the end of the night.
Kit Kats are, I think, my favorite. It is funny. I do think the Reese's bit is funny because I totally agree with it. But with all of this awareness of nut allergies, it's just funny that peanut butter is like still reigns supreme for everybody.
It's one of my favorites. For
Yeah.
Sure. Yep.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Cole.
Happy Halloween.
Appreciate it. Happy Halloween. That's it for now. This is the 734 from WCCO, and most of the Twin Cities are on the go. So why not make us your place for mobile news? We will be back here tomorrow at 7:34, November 1st. Until then, be nice to each other on the